So today we're going to be incubating some quail eggs. So we have our eggs laid out, and we're going to spray them with half original Listerine, half water. Once they dry off, we're going to put them in our A&I quail turners. As you can see here, we have 192 quail eggs that are in their egg turners and ready to start being incubated. As you can see here, we got the incubator started. I'm really excited because we're going to have a lot of meat and eggs here within the next 8 weeks. So for those of you guys that don't know, quail hatch pretty quick. At about day 15, they'll go into lockdown, and by day 18, they've pretty much all hatch. And they reach maturation really fast too. Within 6 weeks, they're already laying their own eggs. The females will be. And mine are the Japanese jumbo Coturnics. So they get to almost a pound each. But to be safe, let's say every bird's 12 ounces. That's a lot of meat in a really short amount of time. If you punch the numbers, out of the eggs that we started, 192. Let's say I have a hatch rate of about 80%, which is low for me. I'm usually in the 85 to 90 percentile, but let's say I only have a hatch rate of 80. Let's take worst case scenario, because as homesteaders, people that are prepared minded, it's important to think about. So if I take 80%, that puts me at about 153, 154 hatching quail. And let's say I lose 15 of those hatching quail. And that's 138 quail that are going to grow to see maturation. And my quail get to almost a pound when they're full grown. But let's say they just get to about 12 ounces. That seems reasonable. I grow the Japanese jumbo Coturnics quail. So let's just say, they're 12 ounces of bird. Very reasonable. At 138 of them, that's going to put me in 2 months able to grow over 100 pounds of quail in a short amount of time. And this isn't including the eggs you're going to get, because your quail are still going to lay eggs while the eggs are in the incubator and while you're not harvesting them. So if it takes 8 weeks tops, that's 2 months. Usually it's 6 weeks they're at full grown. But let's say worst case scenario, that's how we're playing, because we're homesteaders, we're responsible preppers, we're people that are prepared minded. So we're going to play worst case scenario. At worst case scenario, if you're waiting 8 weeks, you're waiting 2 months to do the process, you're getting the process going, and you have, like I do, 33 laying females. Let's take worst case scenario. Let's say only 20 to 25 of them. Let's take the low end. Let's say only 20 of them are laying eggs consistently every day. So I only get 20 eggs consistently every day. That puts me at 10 days, the last 10 days of each second month, I'm collecting those eggs from my incubator, and that's puts 50 days of eggs that I am collecting. So in 2 months, excluding the eggs that I'm going to use for incubation, I'm collecting over 1,000 eggs. Over 1,000 eggs to feed me and my family. And then on top of that, the ones I am incubating and growing out to maturation, I'm getting over 100 pounds of meat. It's really hard to find an animal that is that productive and find an animal that can consistently feed you and your family every single day. And while I'm talking about the efficiency of everything and how much sense it makes from a preparedness standpoint, I'm failing to mention one of the most important parts. Quail taste amazing. They are very rich in flavor. They taste a lot better than chicken. I tell you what, a homestead grown Coturnics quail is going to taste way better than that GMO hybrid Cornish cross garbage that you're going to buy at the store, okay? That chicken at the store is bland, and quite frankly, at this point in my life, tastes like nothing. So it's really awesome, the sustainability and efficiency purposes of quail. And I'm able to grow these quail out in a very small space. You guys have seen my enclosure set up for them, 5 by 8 feet. More than enough space for the quail to grow out and still be quail. So it doesn't require a whole lot of space to be efficient and to grow food for your family. And all this to say is not to underscore the freedom and sustainability and independence you get from going out there and doing something, growing your own food. It's really easy to get caught up in the media. It's really easy to get caught up in the fear porn of, unfortunately, others in the preparedness community. It's really easy to get caught up in that. So go out there and do something as simple as, growing a little hutch out and growing quail. like I said, you don't need as many as I have, but start off with something small and slowly grow up. And quail are great because they're really silent birds. They really don't make a lot of noise. And I have not seen very many ordinances. I don't think I've seen any ordinances or HOAs that would prohibit, somebody from having quail, because they're not popular enough to be in a lot of that literature. So I don't know, just a couple of things to think about off the top of my head. But yeah, I hope you guys, take a look and see what you can do around your neck of the woods to feed your family. So for those of you that live in the city or suburbia, I can't think of better animals for you to raise than quail and rabbits. They don't make any noise. They're very efficient. They're very hardy. They make no noise. They don't draw attention. They're not going to draw attention to you, and they don't require, a whole lot of care. So something to think about. Those are some, final thoughts. But I hope you guys like the video as always. Long live the Republic.